How's it hanging, mobile gamers? Welcome back to Trogthorpe Mobile Gaming. Hey, do me a favor, like what you see, tap the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and be sure to check out our social media links in the description. Please share it with all your friends. Thanks so much. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to take a look at this team here. As you can see, I'm trying to run into that house. They take a couple of pop shots at me. I'm thinking, all right, some idiot just tried to take a quick shot at me. Now I know where they are. I'm going to get in here, get safe. They're going to take cover, and I'm going to just slowly pick them off as they sit up there at the top of their hill. I've got a Mark 14 or an AWM here. No, that's right. It was a Mark 14, and it was suppressed with an 8x scope on it. So I figured I had a good chance at taking these guys out. I was running against duos. Then they go ahead and they pull this move. They come down, they run the Jeep down at me. So I figure I'll jump through the window, go right in the door behind them, and it works beautifully. I've got that guy in my crosshairs, but what I didn't realize is one of them didn't come through the door. He actually stayed outside to throw a grenade up. So I'm thinking here that the guy in the ghillie suit ahead of me was the one that shot me. And so I was really pissed off thinking, okay, this guy's cheating. He wasn't even looking at me. All of a sudden I'm dead. And so I'm going to watch him. I'm going to catch him in the act here. And I watch them for a minute, and I start checking on their stats here, and I realize as I'm going through, this guy's got 19 kills per death. My first thought on that is 19 kills a match? Nobody runs 19 kills a match average. All of us have had, okay, not all of us, but many of us have had really good matches where we ran 15, 20 kills, whatever. It happens. Some people have a really good match, but average per match? No freaking way. And then I realized that's not kills per match, that's kills per death. So if he's running a lot of first place wins, which, look at that, he's got he's got a high ranking in duo wins, then his kills per match is actually going to be, kills per death is going to be a lot higher because, frankly, he's not dying very often. So it actually stands to reason that this guy might be really good. And so I started calming down a little bit, came down off my high horse there a little bit just to watch this guy and learn. And I learned a lot of good things here. So you saw as they pulled into this complex, you saw that guy turn and book it into the building there. So I'm thinking, all right, this is the make or break moment. If he's cheating, we're gonna see like we saw in some of my other videos where he just starts shooting right through the walls, zeroing in on these guys' unreasonable, impossible shots. That's not what's happening here. He's running around, he's continuing to move, he's getting different angles, his buddy is not sticking right next to him, he's actually flanking the other way, so they've got a really good perspective. They know that at most there are two people in that building, and so they have a really good chance. And sure enough, he sees the one guy in the window there, and then he moves, he relocates, he doesn't stick around. He did kind of potato his shots on that one. However, I found sometimes when you're watching somebody, it doesn't always show the hit markers, even though they actually did hit. So it's possible that he hit more of those shots than what it looked like on my end here. And so they just keep moving. I keep switching back and forth between the different players here because I kind of want to see what both of them are doing. But you'll see that they just keep getting different perspectives. They don't just charge in, guns blazing. Now he's going to do what he was trying to do on me, where he goes and he blocks the one exit with a molly there. And then he's going to come out this side and he's going to start chucking some grenades in, and his buddy's inside chucking grenades up the stairs. They're just trying to pin these guys in the middle so that they can control the access, they can control where they are. Sure enough, he actually knocks one of them here with a frag. Now at this point, the natural instinct for most of us would be, all right, one of them's down, let's push up, let's get up there and finish this. Sure enough, here he comes, he starts pushing up, he watches, there's the guy right there, boom. They just finish him off. So they executed a beautiful maneuver there. Neither of them took any real damage at all, and they got the wipe on it, and now they own this complex, which is one of the best places to be at this particular juncture in this circle. So I'm going to continue watching here and kind of narrating through, but what I'm telling you here, you've seen my series as we're going through talking about the best ways to push rank. You'll see as we get to the end of it, the one on what the best players are doing, the players that are in crown and higher. And as I keep pulling up their stats on this, you'll see that his badge, both of them are ranked highly in duo wins. And you'll also see that, you know, one of them has, like I said, about 19 kills per match. The other one had almost 10 kills per match. Not per match. I keep saying per match, and that was my problem to begin with. It's kills per death. So every time that they die, they've killed 19 or 10 people respectively. So obviously these guys are doing something right. Now watch the way he handles this. They don't just sit there in that barn and sit on the top floor hoping that they can get a good scope on somebody. One of them kind of stays up there looking for keeping cover in case they get bombarded. The other one's out here. He's pulling a view on these hills. He's checking the skyline. He's checking all around them, making sure that there's not anybody in sight. And he's checking the most likely places that somebody might be. He closes off those doors so nobody can just push right in. They have to make noise to get through. And then he just sits there and they scope out these hills constantly. They are constantly moving. They're constantly checking out their sight lines. And I just keep switching back and forth. I hope you can keep up with which one's which here. One of them's got a ghillie. The other one doesn't. The one in the ghillie has 10 kills average. The other one has 19. It was very kind of him not to take my ghillie suit, so it was easy to tell the difference between the two of them. And this match started off great for me. I went and dropped melee. I got a couple of quick kills in melee, and then I owned it. I had 2 flare guns out there. I shot them both off, collected both of them uncontested. I was moving in. I got a couple of more kills pushing in. It was a really good match so far, and then these guys just came out of left field and destroyed that for me. But, you know, kudos to them. They are awesome players. So if I've got to die to somebody, I was glad to die to somebody really good here. So I'm just watching. Sure enough, there he goes. He's got a flare gun as well. He did not get that from me. I used all of my flares. I'll tell you that now. I don't know if he got it off one of these guys or if he had it before, but he shoots that off to draw attention in. I love this move. I've done it myself. You draw in crowds this late in the game by shooting off a flare like that. Nobody can resist. Okay, not nobody, but a lot of these people, when you've got 10 to 12 people, they just can't resist pushing in on it because they think, who shoots off a flare this late in the game? It's got to be an idiot. I'm going to go push him and kill him. And so now he's drawing people in, and he's just watching. He's watching all around him for anybody to come and take the bait. Here comes the plane. It's about ready to drop, but sees a Jeep or something up on the hill there. He's watching it to make sure that nobody's there. Another drop drops on the other side of this little complex from him. So now they got 2 drops out here drawing attention, and so things are probably going to get hairy here pretty quick. I know some of this is kind of a little slow, but I want you to see and just watch and observe what these guys are constantly doing. It is unlike most people that I stop and watch. They do not sit still very long at all. They do not let themselves become the targets. They are constantly setting the terms of every engagement. Oops, misfire there. So even the best can misfire sometimes. It may be that it wasn't a misfire. It may be that he's trying to draw attention by the sound of his shots there, because he did it again there. Now the drop comes down. Nobody's come to visit yet, so he's going to push out here and see what he can get out of it. Sure enough, he trades out that shotgun for an AWM. Apparently, he really liked that shotgun because he skipped a lot of good weapons to keep that shotgun. So, and he got a couple of kills with it. I know he killed me, and he killed at least one other guy with it. So, he's clearly pretty good with his shotgun. But here we go. They've lost zone, so they, instead of running into zone, they're going to take the Jeep. They're going to just bully their way in here. Now, a lot of people that I've seen this strategy on, where they drive into the final circles here, they will stop and they'll use that. They'll blow it up, or they'll use it as cover. These guys don't sit still long enough to do that. I want you to see here, instead of snaking these final circles like so many people, he actually goes snake hunting. I love this right here. I've never seen anybody pick snakes out as well as this guy's doing here, but he's just awesome at it. So we're down to 9 total people, so they've got 7 enemies left. They're down to about 2 circles, maybe 3 left. And again, they just lost zone, so now they're looking at moving again. And he takes up post here. And I want you to notice when they move in these final circles, they are moving from hard cover to hard cover to hard cover. He moves real close to that rock, even though he could have taken a faster straight line. That's because they need something to duck behind in a hurry in case a snake starts shooting at them that they haven't seen. And that's the strategy that I see over and over in these top players, is in these final circles, they're not snaking in the grass, they're not hiding. They're out there pushing around, they're moving around, but they're moving from hard cover to hard cover. They're keeping hills between them and their enemies. They're not just standing on the top of it hoping they can see everybody below them. They're actually keeping cover but continuing to move. So they don't just duck behind a rock and just hide there, and they don't snake it in the grass. Right here, I barely caught a glimpse of him even the second time, and I knew where to look. I saw that second one as he was doing it the first time, but only because I knew he was looking, and so I was looking real close. He picked those guys out so fast, it was amazing. He knew exactly where to look on them. And now he pushes down here. Now I was a little questionable here on this zone why it wasn't hurting him at first. I think that has to do with desync. I think it has to do with the fact that I was watching him, so you have the time between his, the game sending stuff to his device sending it back to the servers, and then the server sending it to my device. I think all of that just kind of made his syncing a little bit off there, and that's probably why it looked like it wasn't hurting him. He takes a couple of quick shots with that AWM, drops those two, and third parties them while they're engaged with somebody else. Just completely owns this final circle. Now they're down to 2 enemies left. Him and his buddy are pushing. Sure enough, those guys are dumb enough to duck behind the same tree together. I hope you learned something good there. It's kind of humbling to watch somebody so awesome at this. I really hope you enjoyed it. So make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and tune back in later for more. Thanks for watching. And as always, may you see your enemies first, and may your shot be their last. Thanks.